Starting prep for my beans and greens. This is actually 4 heads of escarole. I cut it all up and washed it 2 times because it was very dirty. I'm probably going to wash it a third. And here we have the Great Northern beans, which I'm going to go through and go through them one by one to make sure there's nothing in them. And then I'm going to soak them overnight. So we'll finish up the recipe tomorrow. Okay, so here are the northern beans and they're soaking. And I am going to let these soak overnight and we'll get back to the recipe then. Okay, so we're putting the beans and greens together today, so we're going to cook everything. So I have a big stock pot on, about 3/4 full with water. I'm going to boil the escarole in here. And my beans have soaked all night, so I'm going to start cooking those down. So here we put the beans, we drained them, and we put them in a big pot also. And now I'm going to cover them with water. Okay, here we put the beans, we covered them with water. And we're going to start cooking them. Now, as they cook, they're going to soak up the water. So you have to keep adding more. So I'll show you as it goes along. Okay, I just put 4 heads of the escarole in the water. And now I'm going to let it boil, bring it back to a boil. Cover it for about 5 minutes. And here we have the beans cooking, still water, so I haven't had to add any yet. And cover those. Okay, I cooked the escarole down, and this is what it was reduced to. So I'm letting it drain, I'm going to let it cool, and then I'm going to squeeze out all the excess water. Okay, so I just drained all the water from the escarole. You kind of got to squeeze it out, it's like spinach. And I cut it up with scissors, because that's the easiest way. And so here's my bowl. That's what it's been reduced to. So now I'm going to cook that down. I'm just going to show you the beans and how they're doing. I did add water to them twice. And it's 1 o'clock, and I believe I started this around 11. So it has been almost 2 hours, but they're pretty much cooked. So I will show you the next step. Okay, so I have a pot on with about 3/4 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil. That is the only olive oil that I use. So I have that on medium. And now I use the minced garlic in the squeeze bottle here. You could use fresh garlic depending on how much garlic you like. And you don't. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of garlic in here. In with the oil. If you don't like garlic, you can put 2 cloves of garlic, and then you can let them saute so it gets the flavor in the oil, and then you can take the garlic cloves out. Okay, so that's our garlic, and then I'm going to put a little bit of crushed red. It really does give it a nice flavor. So they're just crushed red pepper flakes. If you don't like hot, or if you only like a little bit of hot, put as much as you want. And at this far, we haven't put any salt or pepper in, so I will show you how to season. Okay, here's our beans. Now it's 1 o'clock, so I've cooked them for 2 hours. And you can see a little bit of liquid there, fully cooked, so I shut the burner off. I'm just going to cover them and let them sit. Here we have the garlic, the crushed red, and the olive oil. Now this is actually called aglio olio. You could take a pound of pasta, cook it, pour this over, put some Parmesan cheese, and you have another vegan meatless meal. Okay? So now I'm going to add the escarole that I cut and cleaned. And mix this around. Sorry about the video. And we're going to let this cook down for about 20 minutes. Okay, so the escarole is cooking now in the olive oil. I'm going to add probably a teaspoon of black pepper. And because I didn't put any salt in the beans, and we're going to eventually incorporate this, I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of salt. like I said, when it comes to salt and pepper, if you watch your salt intake, then just put less and then taste it till you get, you know, to the point where it's good for you. Everybody's different. Okay, so we're gonna let this cook for probably another 15 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. This is all cooked down. And I'm gonna take the beans and I'm going to combine the two. Okay, everybody, here's our finished beans and greens. Now, I like it thick, so you can see how thick this is. I'm gonna do a little drizzle of olive oil over the top. I have the burner on just 2, and basically you're just gonna let this set. Now, it didn't make a lot. This pot is not one of my largest pots, and it is a lot of work. But whatever you don't eat can stay in the fridge for a few days. You can freeze it. It actually freezes very well. And like I said, check your salt and pepper content. And it is a hearty meal. You only need a little loaf of bread with it, and bon appetit. Enjoy. Let me know what you guys think about the recipe. And you can also catch me, send me any questions that you have, any problems, and I will try to get back to you. Thanks.